top of your thing is just like...
All right. Good morning. This is Charlie Pankey's here at Magazine. We are on our way into the Immigrant Wilderness for the first time. We're backpacking in with our horses got our backpacks today, and we're heading on the Crabtree Trailhead to Bucks Lake today, where we'll meet our backpacks this afternoon. Do a little backpacker assist program so we can get some more miles in today, get a little deeper, and then we're going to join a weekend of multiple lakes, Big Lake, Piute Lake, Karls Lake, Red Can Lake, Yellowhammer Lake, along with Bucks and all the lakes we'll see on the trailhead today. So come along for the ride. Hope you enjoy the visit. Nice to start in this old growth forest. All right, we got through our first climb out of Crabtree Meadow, and we're only 15 minutes probably in. We're heading down this little gully. I think we're going to go around this ridge before we start climbing up. We'll get Camp Lake. It's our first lake, I believe, of the day, but love the old growth forest out here. I don't know if you call this old growth, but anytime you're in these firs, it kind of feels old growth, I should say. But it's definitely a horse trail. Lots of steps and stones and horse crap. But beautiful day to be out early, ahead of the crowd. There's a lot of people at the trailhead, so we got out in front of them, I think. All right, we made our big push to the top of the ridge, I believe, and we're getting this morning light through the trees here. That was really pretty on the trail. I'll show you real quick. And first thought was, glad I didn't have to carry my pack up that hill. I feel a little bit better than I would have probably. So backpacker assist, check one. We're going into our first campsites here, so turn my camera off there. But right, we're starting to get into the granite, which is super exciting. Just commenting how there's no mosquitoes out here right now. We're enjoying that. We got our first meadow coming up here through the trees. Don't know if there's water in that meadow or not, but just a really pretty area. This granite rock. We're going to see a lot of that this weekend. Big old meadows, one of the things it's known for. In this loop, you can loop a big backcountry loop with lots of meadows. We're going to pick the granite side, so miss many of those meadows, but we're going to see plenty today, I think. Should be nice. Met a great couple from Oakland that been out for 7 days, and we go, oh, that just sounds delightful. But they saw some pretty amazing things. Fish in every lake, they said, and snakes in every lake. So we'll see. Well, that might be the quietest wilderness sign I've ever seen. No big celebration sign here for Immigrant Wilderness. Just a note, no motorized equipment, no gliders, no bicycles, no drones. Let's go do a wilderness adventure. Made our first lake. That's super pretty. Got this granite behind there. Don't see any fish right here, but like all these lakes up here have fish, so pretty awesome. I think they call this Camp Lake, and I'll dig up the map to make sure. All right, split the Bear Lake that way. We're going to Piute Meadow, so we're following those guys there. Done with our Camp Lake area. Tom is dragging right now. All right, after leaving Camp Lake, we climbed a little ridge, and then we came down a really steep kind of ridge right behind us here. Lots of sunlight. Going to be fun to climb up Monday afternoon. But down here, wildflowers are growing. I think this creek comes from Bear Lake, I believe. It's been coming down the canyon, so it's barely running, but it's got some water flow going. It's really pretty with the yellow flowers down here. See several wildflowers. still here in August, which is pretty awesome. And trying to make sure that we don't get off trail. There's lots of little trails out here, and you kind of figure out which one is the main trail. It feels like I should be crossing that creek, but this trail definitely feels like it's a better trail. I'm wondering if that was actually the crossing spot. We'll figure it out here. All right, well, we're climbing out of this canyon that we came down with Bear Creek at, and now this meadowy, brushy area. The wildflowers are still hanging on, although you can tell it's the end of the season. There's lots of, you know, almost dead, but it's really kind of pretty in here. The Indian brush has already turned its fall color, but imagine a month ago this would have been wildflower paradise. You can see some pinks back there, purples throughout, so this whole ridge would have been pretty special in July. I bet maybe into July. Good little climb out of this canyon. It's hot already today. It's not even 10 o'clock. Oh, if I'm completely honest with you, I'm getting Jurassic Park vibes right here, waiting for those little raptors to come out and grab my ankles. But we'll take the shade. Getting warm today. Getting close to the top of this ridge. We'll see where it goes. Well, we're slowly making it. So I don't know what this lake's called. It doesn't have a name on the map, so I'm just going to call it Lily Lake, because look at all those lily pads. It's about halfway to Piute Meadow, I think, on the map. Could be a little off on that, but close to halfway. And yeah, we're enjoying ourselves, having a good time. On to Piute. All right, we're getting our first glimpses at Piute Meadow down there, and where we're going to be at this this weekend. We're going to be crawling out over top that ridge, out to near the border of Yosemite, but not quite. And we're going to be getting down to that meadow there, and then back up that ridge, which doesn't look like a lot of fun, but that's where we're going today. Thanks, bud. But yeah, this is our home. This is the Immigrant Wilderness. First, the big picture of granite that we still see all the way around. Cool looking ridge over there. Yeah, this could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot of work. You can tell it's rugged horseland, but we're on feet. And we're gonna conquer it out just like everyone else does. I didn't set on the other side of this rock, didn't notice it split. Take a look at that piece of granite. That's pretty unique. Neat.
Let's see that side.
Quick stop at Piute Meadow for a little snack break. Wish we were here a little earlier with some water, but that's okay. We'll make the next lake. All right, so we've climbed up out of Piute Meadow, and now we're actually descending down into this granite canyon. Reminds me of a lot of desolation. It is hard work out here. It really is hot and dry here in mid-August, but the granite is pretty. And we got some big granite here off to my left, off to the camera's left. Show it to you in a second when I get up here a little further. Biggest problem we saw the first half of this trip is lack of water sources. So luckily I was carrying 3 liters of water from camp without filling up early, really lacking water for as much as we're working this heat. It's pretty good, gorgeous. That looks like Yosemite right there, right? As this whole canyon does. That's a gorgeous canyon. When we look at it, just granite walls. So I think we're going in here someplace, but we'll figure it out. There's a lake in here someplace too. I'll try to find it. So bringing more from the lake. First look at Piute Lake. We're hoping to find a place for lunch here. Hopefully go for a swim, but we're gonna see how deep it is. See if we can find a spot. So we have dropped down out of Piute Lake, and we're in this little valley here where the West Fork of Cherry Creek is at someplace. I haven't seen it yet, but it's here. And we got about a 250-foot climb to Jim Lake, and about a mile, just over a mile, maybe a mile and a half total. It's up that canyon right there. That's where we're going to stop for a little bit, take a longer lunch, hopefully go for a swim. Piute Lake did not tempt us for swimming. A little too brown, blackish water for us. It was some cleaner area we probably could have figured it out, but the bottom was mucky, so I don't know. We're first time Immigrant Wilderness. Maybe that's what we're going to get, is a bunch of mucky, soggy bottom lakes. I'm not sure, but hoping to find some granite lakes up here, or some pools, a little bit more. Oh, you still here's Cherry Creek. There we go. It's dried up. Obviously, this is roaring a month ago, going down to the main Cherry Creek, and it comes off of the granite there, rushes down here, and then of course the main Cherry Creek goes in the far west edge of Yosemite National Park. So that's where we're at, and we'll bring you more story when we get to Jim Lake, and might dip my hat in here just to cool it down. Made it to Jim Lake. Just stopped and had a nice chat with some guys that are up here doing the same thing. Been up here a lot doing it, so it was kind of cool to get some insight from them. So we're gonna see if we can find a spot to go swimming, get some water, refresh, and take a break for a while. Get recap for our next 4 miles into Bucks Lake. Got ourselves a little water snake here. Hey buddy, what you doing? Is this your home?
Water snake coming to visit you?
Yep, he is. So I'm filming him. He's gonna try to attack my camera. Oh, big time gonna attack my camera. Look at that, he's coming straight at it. I know they're not dangerous, but that's not something I want to play with.
Toward me?
Yep. Tom took a swim and the snake has interest. You see him yet?
Oh, right there.
Yeah. Awesome. It's a busy little lake for the wilderness. There's at least 8 people here now, so. That's pretty cool. Not very far. We had one little ridge to climb, and we're at Jewelry Lake. This looks like a pretty little lake. You see now the hard part with camping around here is that you can't camp on the trail side, basically. You gotta walk around the lakes. There's just no camp spots on this side. But I'll bet you there's camping on the back side. This looks like a fun little lake to stay at. See, the fishermen know the whole story. I like all the meadow back there. That's really neat. Jewelry Lake. Okay, so the last mile and a half has probably been my favorite just because it's been the easiest. From Jewelry Lake to Deer Lake is pretty simple. See why if you packed into here, you can get to both lakes really easily and stay in water. There's hammock campers, lots of trees. It's still pretty warm out here, so we're gonna do another water stop here at Deer Lake, just because we have a little bit of a climb before we drop down into Bucks Lake. We're really not that far away, but it just makes sense to make sure you have enough water. Everything we keep hearing from people is that our way out that day is really dangerous because of lack of water, that we can load up if we take the low route. If we take the high route, which is extremely much harder route out, especially with packs, then at least we have water along the way, but we have to climb a whole heck of a lot more elevation up and down. So we're gonna have to judge that, decide where we're going, and kind of where our last night is. We talked about maybe a moonlight hike out, doing some sleep deprivation stuff and sleeping different times and hiking at night out here. It's so warm. So, but welcome to Deer Lake. This is where we are going to do a water stop at. It's supposed to be a really nice lake. I actually almost had my bag dropped here, And for whatever reason, I decided that Bucks Lake was something I needed to see, so I'm doing the extra today. But I was told this is a pretty nice lake to stay at. It looks like it has a nice shore line that you can get in. Maybe a swimming lake, actually. Maybe we'll end up being here a little longer. Don likes to swim. I haven't taken one today. Don took one at Jim Lake, but I decided not to. And interesting thing is we've seen water snakes at every one of these lakes, which I don't know if that's a sign of something. We also saw frogs at Jim Lake, so that meant the fish population is probably not all that good there. But Deer Lake looks pretty nice. It's got a little bit of a scuzzy bottom in this pool here, but that looks like pretty blue water out there. What do you think? All right, well, we're gonna get set up here, get some water someplace, find a spot to chill out for a moment before we make our last climb over to Bucks Lake. All right, we've made it now down from Jewel Lake, and we're turning off for Wood Lake, Upper Bucks. So we were originally going to be at Wood Lake, so that was the original on our down thing. But I decided I want to see Upper Bucks, so we're going Upper Bucks this way. About a mile left. Okay, shadow's getting long here. We are on our final descent down into Bucks Lake, or Upper Bucks Lake, I should say, where we'll have to actually circle the lake to our packs. But we've almost made it through our trip today. Feel pretty good about it. It's been a more challenging route than I expected, with all the ups and downs and horse trail maneuvering. You know what I mean by that? Is it just like this trail here, just lots of big awkward rocks, small rocks combination, so you have to really take your time. And with the heat today, it kind of zaps you out. So this is what we have to the rest of the trip down. We'll be at the water here shortly. I'll show you when we get there. Oops. All right, well, I was probably so tired last night I didn't shoot a video of Bucks Lake, or Upper Bucks Lake. We are actually packed up next morning, day 2, and we're taking off. So this is the view from the south side of that lake. You can see kind of the big meadow on the far north side. We camped just around that big boulder back in a little cove right there. It's pretty nice. And there were several campers around the lake last night, but we had a really good night here. It's beautiful. But we're on to Woods Lake and then going off trail for a couple days, so stay tuned for day 2. If we're taking a look at lower Bucks here, or if this is just one of those middle lakes kind of between it and woods, because this one the water wouldn't flow into from Upper Bucks. So don't know what we're looking at here. Maybe just an offshoot. It's a very pretty lake. Kind of greenish color. This whole west side is green. So that blue clear, but it's clear still. All right, reach
deep.
Lowers Bucks. This looks like our best water we've seen yet, as far as like take a swim hole. Very pretty lake down here. So Lowers Buck has got our seal of approval. All right. I don't know. Something about Lowers Bucks is my favorite lake so far. I actually like it better than Upper Bucks. It's got cleaner, bluer water, which is something we get used to on the Eastern Sierra. Deeper pools for swimming. I'm not a fisherman, so maybe fishermen like the other lake better, but this is a pretty dynamic, beautiful place. Lots of places to camp. Yeah, I like Lowers Buck Lake. Woods Lake. We've made a decision to go ahead and skip Red Can based on terrain and just how we're feeling. We're being smart backpackers this year. I'm not trying to do stuff that's over our head for our fitness level this year, so already pushing ourselves quite a bit, but kind of like this little back pond here. It's really nice. Could have stayed at Woods last night. It's been fun. Looks like we got a little bit of a log crossing here because we're not horses. But we're gonna go to Karls Lake. That's where we're going next. All right, we have left the trail and headed up Karls, following this little bit of a gully ditch. I'm assuming a seasonal runoff from Karls, maybe, but this is the start of our off-trail adventure in immigrant wilderness. All right, cleared the first little pass. Wasn't too difficult. Now we enter the granite bowls of southern immigrant wilderness. So, see if we can find Karls here, which I do believe might be right in front of us. Green, and voila, we made it to Karls. Gonna be along this for a while. I've already scared deer out. So I think Karls and Layton will make a good afternoon kind of spot and enjoy ourselves. So bring you more as we get down there further. I don't know. I like this lake. You see there's a little soft to get in the deep, but like granite island and stuff, Karls is pretty. I think we're gonna get over those granite rocks, take a break, maybe go for a swim, spend some time here. Definitely looks inviting. All right, we're saying goodbye. We took a nice swim at Karls, had a nice lunch. We're gonna head over to Layton real quick before we head on down to Yellowhammer, and we'll see where the evening goes. Good spot for a swim. And just like that, we're at Layton. That was such a grueling, what, 400 yards? Anyways, Layton, we're gonna head and exit that way over there someplace. So we're gonna skirt Layton here. Layton actually goes quite a ways back behind this corner here, but we're not gonna see it all today. Okay, take a look at this, huh? So we're above Lake now, above Acre Lake, which is down here. We're gonna head towards Yellowhammer in that direction, but if I'm not mistaken, that shark's fin, I do believe might be in Yosemite, or might be the border of Yosemite, that crest right there. So, don't know the names of the mountains, but this is the granite playground they talk about down here. Look at this. Getting down this is gonna be a little tricky. We're gonna head over here, trying to find a route down, but wow, what a gorgeous view. Cherry Creek Canyon's over that knoll. That's how I know that Yosemite's over there, where that shark fin's at. Is that just, that's what it does to the map, right? All right, it's only fair to show you what off-trail looks like back here. There's a lot of granite, a lot of undulation, lots of ways you get stuck on, 20-foot cliffs that have no way down, that aren't on the brown lines of the map because not a big enough difference. Whoops, and lots of easy ways to fall down. You gotta get careful. Footing's important out here, and just kind of picking our way through this granite. It's very warm on this granite out here this weekend. It's in mid-80s, and as you can tell in the video, I'm about falling twice down that little slump, so can't talk and walk at the same time apparently. Shoot video, but you're really choosing your battles, right? Is it better to go through the bush or climb the slab, which is by far the better option? But there's a cliff right there, so then you gotta figure out down through the bush or to go back up, come down that slab there. So all these options to choose from. A lot of bush, that's why we're in pants today instead of shorts in this hot weather. But we're gonna see how bad this cliff is here. See if there's a way down. See? That's how you get yourself hung up on a ledge. So it's best to go down there into the bush or down here, which looked really quite hairy in the bush. So I think I'm going to choose to go back up this way, cut across that, and it's like a good path. Anyways, good look into 5 acres down there below on our way to Yellowhammer. This is quite incredible. It's not easy travel, but man, stunning here, huh? Tom coming down to meet me. Again, we're heading right up there today. I'm feeling a bit guilty right now for you. We just saw Yellowhammer cabins. The history out here is rich, but we're just getting to Yellowhammer Lake. And I forgot to record the cabin for you, so take a look at the pictures in the video. I'll show you the cabin. But made the Yellowhammer Lake. I understand Big Lake's only about 40 minutes away. Still undetermined whether or not we're gonna try to stay here or just go for it to Big Lake, which was the original intent. But yeah, welcome to Yellowhammer. That's pretty nice. Pool down there. Woo! Fall on my ass here. We're filming. Get out of this point here. Can't stay if there's no access point. That's the problem. This granite just goes down the wall, right? So you gotta be able to find your access point on this water. Right here, the trees might be an access point. Yeah, there are people down here and swimming right now. Right there. All right, so that was a used spot. So gal at the cabin told us Karls Lake granite, the very end towards where the outlet goes, is the best swimming hole. So we're gonna go test it out. And we know Big Lake is that direction. So this granite's pretty cool. See how smooth it is? All these rocks move when the snow comes down. Ice is up and just moves a little bit. Just a war sheet of granite right here. Lake's pretty neat. It's just this little tunnel in the granite. So yeah, this is what we're looking at. This is so Yosemite here. This part is just unique. Uh-oh, where did I lose Tom at? Up high. Alright, we made the Big Lake. Absolutely beautiful lake. This one is the first lake. It probably reminds us of Desolation or Yosemite with the clear granite bottom. But early in the morning, we just got here, just barely hiking. Probably not going to go swimming today. Got a long day ahead of us. Just doing a water refill, enjoying the view. Well, we ran into the Alpine, or the horse train today, so we're just gonna follow these guys up there. That was our plan too, is go up this, so looks like that's the preferred route, so we're doing the same thing. Well, we're hour and a half, maybe a little hour, more than an hour and a half in. We're coming down now into Piute Meadow. This is a really pretty valley. We stopped in, we had a nice break here earlier. Climb out isn't all that much fun on either side, which is probably why you don't hear about maybe a little bit more, but really enjoyed it down there. The granite right here is pretty spectacular. And if I remember right, this was the first time I really started to see the granite pop out on this trail. So on our way down.